go. That's how I draw directly into Midjourney. Just to kind of recap what I did here, I first drew the sketch, making sure that the hair was a separate color because it just helps the direction of this. It also kind of gives the unique look of Sage's messy, unkept hair. The main thing to keep in mind here of what I'm really doing is at the very start of this. I'm just gonna at the very start of this, I just send the sketch over to Discord. That gets me a URL that I can use. So the only thing I really do here is once I have that URL, I paste it and then I add a value of 10 to it, which means that it's going to be 10 times stronger than all the other images that are included in this prompt. And you can save characters at Midjourney now. And I won't get into that too much, but I just want to show you guys really quick the other images that are included, which is the character sheet. This is something that a lot of people gave me crap for because there is a lot of generative base to this. So like I'm purposely running my own stuff through this workflow multiple times to really encourage certain diversity out of these results. But I do draw quite heavily in order to keep everything uniform. It's just a lot of color correction and things that I think other people would consider non-creative technical corrections, but I do actually draw quite heavily when it comes to the back end work when I'm just kind of exploring different performances of these characters. And so what happens though is we get like a rough of it. And this is without any anime data sets. It's just running off of Midjourney. With the new slash tune, you'll be able to set your own style for this. But Sage is actually mostly based off of anime data sets, and that's done by writing Niji5 at the end of the prompt here. And you can see the initial sketch has a value of 10. The rest of the sketches have a value of 1, or just the default. And the result that comes out of that is something that I can immediately go, yep, that's Sage. And it's kind of doing what I want. It has the hand up and out and whatnot, like in the original image here. And if you saw from earlier, I had trouble trying to get the hand flat and palm down. With enough rerolls, I probably could have gotten it, but I was happy with the final product here. So the thing is that the reason I was able to do this so quickly is because I ran a repeat of this. Once I saw that it was successful, like it gave me Sage, the only thing I did was add the code repeat 10 at the end. And this is pretty costly if you are doing this, on like a limited account. But what it does is it runs the same prompt 10 times, or however many numbers you put at the end of that, the word repeat. And all of these variations are usable in their own right. Like they look pretty good, but they give me an idea of what the result's going to look like when I do the next step, which is, I pick a couple that I like, and then I run a variation subtle on it. And this is basically going to preserve the overall composition, but it will let me change the context of it or some of the more subtle stuff about it. So the thing is that when I hit variation subtle, I come in and I just remove the sketch entirely. And what that does is it makes it so that when I hit submit here, it's going to refer, not to my loose sketchy thing, but it will refer back to only the images that were here, that in my reference sheet here. So it cleans up the line art quite heavily, and to a far more usable extent. I think this is probably the most underutilized utility within Midjourney, and it all just comes from the fact that there is a lot of justified frustration with that company, and it's a lot of first to the gate problems. There's a lot of other AI companies and private, or open source options that do far more than this, but they get a lot of the attention simply because they were the first ones to really go public with their tech. And the thing is about this is that this is a highly derivative workflow of whatever you put into it. The final result here was done with just in painting a little bit of the finger and getting that hand to be anatomically correct. you know, this is something that I hope to see people using just because it is such a unique way to draw. I'm very used to, finishing pieces completely, but seeing it interpret the line art in a way that is so fast and diverse is really interesting, because this is what I mean by directing the characters, is that I don't really know what their final performance is going to be like. Like, an actress isn't a robot, right? It doesn't it repeat the exact same actions. Every take is different. And, sometimes it takes 20, 30, 50 takes, if not more, to really nail the shot that the director has in mind. So I am combining that logic and drawing. And so I get a unique form of storytelling that I know rubs a lot of people the wrong way, because it is beyond the performance of my natural, drawing skill. But the thing about this is that it gives a level of direction and transformation here that it's really hard to argue that this isn't unique, right? It is something that, um in terms of the bones of this, like the brains that goes into this, there's all sorts of, things that I frankly am not qualified to argue for or against. I just really want to leave people with this message, which is, I really don't want you to pick this up. I really don't want you to put this down. I just want you to be able to do what you think is right for you, and to really understand that what people are doing with this technology from like a creative standpoint, not just, putting in a bunch of IP that you don't own into a bot and seeing what comes out. So thank you so much for watching.